Go.
All right, hi everybody. This is our Finance 3070 Principles Real Estate Appraisal Project. I'm KJ Scally.
And I'm Sean Larkin.
I'm Mike McNulty.
I'm Davis Hamlin.
I'm Mark Adams.
I'm Clayton Trentham.
Okay, so here's our subject property. It's located on 212 Shaftesbury Road in Clemson, South Carolina. So the kitchen area has a modern kitchen, nice natural light coming through, a nice little eating area in the kitchen as well. It has 4 total bedrooms. They're spacious. You can fit a whole family in this house. 3 total bathrooms as well. It also has a spacious living room where you can entertain guests. And it has a 2-car garage and a pretty large backyard.
It has a lot of notable surroundings around it, including Clemson University, which is a big nationally renowned university. It has Lake Hartwell for a ton of outdoor water activities like water sports, wakeboarding. The GSP Airport, which allows easy travel between both countries and other cities and states. And it has Table Rock National Park for a bunch of outdoor activities such as hiking, tennis, racquetball, all those activities. This is in a market that's very concentrated with students. However, we believe since it's a 4-bedroom house, it's more geared towards families. So those would be both local families and families of professors would be very interested in it, in this house. And a lot of people may travel to Clemson from Pendleton, Seneca, and Anderson, which are surrounding cities.
Just some demographic information. So the population in Clemson is around 17,000. That's according to the U.S. Census Bureau. And the population growth is increasing by over 22% this decade. And around 18% of the population lives with their parents. This is important because this is a 4-bedroom house that we're looking at.
So some specific qualities about this house. It was built in 1993. It's about 2,652 square feet in floor size, and it's about 0.54 acres.
So this is a map or a zoning map. As you can see, Clemson, I'll use a little laser pointer. Clemson University is right here. The houses are located around here. And some nearby cities are Seneca, Pendleton, and Central. So that's really where we expect a lot of people to move from.
So some history about this property. It first sold in March of 1993 for $20,000. Then later in August of 2019, it was listed for $374,900. And then today it's an estimated Zillow value of $396,900.
As you can see, its home price, the change in home price, according to Zillow estimates, has been relatively shaky. However, it's been on a steady upward trend. However, it is predicted to slowly decrease. We're not quite sure what the rationale behind this is. Zillow really didn't give an estimate or a reason for it, but you can see that there has been an upward trend historically.
All right, so criteria for our comparables that we were looking at here. Got to be 2-story with 4 bedrooms and 3 baths, ideally in the Clemson city limits, but could be a little outside of it. Single family with 2-car garage and somewhere in the price range of $300,000 to $500,000.
Okay, so for our first comparable property, this property is located in the same neighborhood as our subject property. The sale price is a little bit less than the subject sale price. It's built also earlier than the subject. It has 4 bedrooms, 3 baths, and it is a little bit less than the square footage, which might explain why the sale price is lower. For our second one, the sale price is around the same as our subject property. It has 3 bedrooms and 3 baths, so 1 less bedroom. And it also has 2,400 square feet, which is also less than our subject property. For our third comparable property, this one also has a lesser sale price. It was built before the subject property. It has 4 bedroom, 3 baths. And it has around the same square footage. The fourth one has a higher sale price than our subject property. It was built pretty recently in 2014. And it has 2 extra baths in our subject property and also 300 more square feet. And our fifth one has a lesser sale price. It was built around the same time in 1993, 3-bedroom, 3-bath, so one less bedroom, and around the same square footage.
And our final comparable property was built just slightly earlier, similar in bedroom, bathroom, square footage, and acres. So this is a pretty similar comparable property.
For our sales comparison approach, we made a little table that specifies all the amenities that the house has. And then in the following slide, we went and made adjustments to all the houses that did not meet the exact specifications of our subject property. For the bedrooms, we decided that $57,715 was the proper price by going on Zillow and looking at a large sample of houses that had 2-bedroom compared to 3 bedrooms. We wanted to use a smaller house size because this would leave less wiggle room if there's a bigger lot size or maybe some extra features that that houses didn't have. So that was the adjustment for houses 2 and 5 because they had one less bedroom than the other houses. And for a bathroom adjustment, we went on Fixer, which is a site that allows to see how much you can add a bathroom and increase your house value. So these 2 bathrooms for houses 4 and 6 had 2 or 2.5 more. So we had to adjust those down in order to meet our subject property needs. For the square foot adjustment, we used the subject property's square foot per price, which was $139. So all the houses got adjustments to meet the exact square footage of the subject property. For the lot size, I talked to one of my real estate broker friends, and they specified that I should check out all of the land, like just land properties near Clemson, and to see what an average 1-acre lot would cost, which came to around $100,000. So all of these lots were adjusted accordingly. And then for the year built, we decided that 0.5% per year would be a good adjustment to move up or down depending on how old these houses were. So if they got positive adjustments, they were older than our subject property. And if they were years past the subject property, then we adjust them back down. And luckily, all of the houses came with garages, so we didn't have to make any adjustments. And then we came to our final adjustment price of $331,760 by taking an average of all 6 of these houses.
So this is our construction cost appraisal. With this, it's really good when you can compare pretty much the cost of building a new house on site to whatever the listing price is to find a value. With this, we had the estimated replication cost of $507,539. We found that 2 ways. We used the construction cost calculator website. With that, you can put various attributes and characteristics of the house into it and give you an estimated replication cost. And we also kind of talked to Mr. McNulty, who's in the real estate appraisal business, and he kind of knows what he's talking about a little bit. So we found that value. With that, we found the accrued depreciation. To do that, I found the 60 years useful life. We found that with the quality check homes inspection, found the average life of homes around this area to be 70 to 100 years. However, the vinyl siding on this house brings the average life down to around 60 years. So we divided that by 60 and we multiplied it by 27, which is how long the house has currently existed, to get the accrued depreciation of $228,392.55. So this gave us the depreciated cost of the building, which was $279,146.45. And then all we had to do was add the estimated value of the site. To find the estimated value of the site, we looked at Zillow and we found land actually in the area that was between 0.5 to 1 acre. And because our home is 0.54 acres, we found the average of those land to be around $85,000. So we added that to the depreciated cost of the building to give us the indicated value by the cost approach, which was $364,146.45. with that, we compare that to the listing price of the building. And because that value is actually more than the listing price of the building, you would choose to buy the home at the value instead of building a new home.
So this is we use both the DCF, the discounted cash flow, and the direct cap income approach. I'll move this up so you can see what we did. So what we wanted to do was find the average monthly income, or the annual income. So what we started out was the potential gross income. This was based off of Zillow and census data for the area, and then we multiplied that by 12 to get our potential gross income on an annual basis of $22,476. Then we wanted to subtract the vacancy and collection costs. This is again both data from Zillow and the census. Then we multiplied that $277, which is the average, by 12 to get $3,324, which is the average for the area. We then subtracted that from the potential gross income to get our effective gross income of $19,152. We then wanted to subtract out operating expenses on an annual basis. This house has very minimal operating expenses, which is $2,000 a year. So we would also want to subtract CapEx, which is capital expenditure. We couldn't really find much need for CapEx in the near future, so we decided to leave it at zero, and our net operating income was $17,152. We then wanted to use a perpetuity formula. So we found our market cap rate and divided the net operating income by the 0.0608, which is our market cap rate, to form a perpetuity and a direct cap estimate of $282,105.26. The next thing we wanted to do was form our discounted cash flow. I'll move this box over. So what we use for our discount rate is our 10-year treasury note. We'll talk about this a little bit later and the effect that COVID will have on it. And then we used our cash flow of the $17,152, which is our figure from before. We used 10 years, and in our last year, we're going to have a terminal value of our estimated selling price, which we again got in the last slide, of $282,105.26. We then used the present value factors, which we got here using the present value factor formula, with the years here and the discount rate here. And then we got our present value figures. We took the sum of them for our discounted cash flow for 10 years. We got $419,221.00.
So for our final appraisal estimated value, we came to a reconciled estimated value of $362,179.15. We came to this value by using weights for all of the different approaches that we used. We used 65% for the sales comparison approach because we had the 6 properties that we found were most similar to ours. And this is a big weight because our property is most likely going to be a family home as opposed to an income producing household. So that's why income is only 5% and the income DCF is 10%. And for the cost method, we thought this would be a good to put it at 20% as well. And this in total gave us the reconciled estimate of value, which is a little bit lower than the Zillow value right now, but that's to be expected when listing your house.
It's also one thing we can market is very close, is within 5% or 0.5% of our Zillow estimate. So it's very, very close.
Okay, so now that we've seen, how this might impact our property, we're going to talk about COVID-19. Obviously, COVID-19 has a huge impact on the world and our local economy here in Clemson. As we've seen in the movies such as The Big Short, Small Enough to Jail, and Inside Job, they all have sort of related to coronavirus and the real estate market outcomes. As we're seeing right now, interest rates are low. So the government's trying to combat, any economic collapse or turmoil that we might have. This could lead to a lower discount rate, which would impact the DCF, which will obviously impact real estate prices all over the world, really, especially in our local economy. Also, a lot of people are being unemployed or furloughed right now on their jobs, so they don't necessarily have the money or cash to be buying houses. So it's not as lucrative right now for people to get into the real estate market. And so, prices and values are decreasing a lot because of that. So COVID-19 has a huge impact, not just on the world or the government or, the United States economy, but also here in Clemson and our local real estate projections.
All right, that was our presentation. We hope you enjoyed it and it was very informative for you. Thank you.